What's after buzzers? It's that time again. That's right. We're coming at you with another installment of the American Ninja Warrior After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. That's right. We're talking the Daytona Beach City Finals, so stick around because you're not going to want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja.
There you go.
Dude,
you got
this
it.
song, man. It's gonna be my jam.
You got to listen to more MC Chris though. Like he's got plenty of other good hits.
Well, I could see that based off of just this song alone.
Absolutely. He did a song. We've talked about it. He did a song with Childish Gambino.
Huge fan.
While back.
Okay.
Guys, that's right. It's that time again. It's the American Ninja Warrior After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. We're talking the Daytona Beach City Finals. My name is Ty Matthews. Y'all can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Joining me as always, looking at more just glorious than ever before.
Wow.
Coming off of a lot of fancy stuff with So You Think You Can Dance, right?
Oh, yes, Ty. Yeah.
So much cool stuff. Guys, you can find her online at @Cassandra_TV. It's Cassandra.
Yay. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. You know, summer is not over yet. So you
so
guys
much has happened.
Dude, so much. There's so much going on here, the AfterBuzz, just everywhere. I can feel it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, a lot's happening, of course, on the course with American Ninja Warrior from Daytona Beach, from the Speedway itself.
Yes. I love these finals because they're so tough.
A
Even
particularly brutal course tonight, just like we saw in San Antonio. The same number of finalists, or not necessarily finalists, but finishers, if you will, buzzer hitters. You know how it goes.
Shocker, though. I mean, it's even as we continue going on in the different city finals, it's still a huge shocker when we have only one finisher.
Right.
But you know that finisher is just thinking, yeah, I did it.
Of course.
But
So let's break
awesome.
down this course.
Woo!
This cornch, y'all.
Yeah.
We start out with the floating steps, like we always do. Then we go on to the rolling pin, followed by the wing nuts, created by the Maker Ninja. We'll see later on tonight. Then we've got the broken bridge, followed by rolling thunder, the 14.5-foot warped wall. Then we get to that back half, or that back four, I guess, not really, a little less than half. The salmon ladder, followed by the brand new giant cubes. I know,
Okay,
right?
those they started calling them the Rubik's cubes. Rubik's cubes. That's a little hard to say. Closer to the end of the episode because they proved to be especially difficult.
No one could figure them out.
They looked insane. Just watching them, and having ninjas try to get through them.
Right.
Was almost impossible.
Absolutely. For those of you who are joining us that didn't see the show, first of all, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
We appreciate the idea. What these giant cubes consist of are these floating plexiglass cubes with handholds around the sides of them. Not very many. They're not very big. Then there's also a bigger ledge around the top perimeter of the cube. Now, the second cube that's floating is a little bit kind of slanted inward. It's not a straight up 90-degree cube, I guess, if you will. Ninjas will have to get from one cube to the other via a variety of ways, which we will talk about later on, and then go from that second cube to the landing platform with the dismount.
Now, these
Hopefully that made sense.
These two massive cubes are 18 feet above the water.
Okay, there you go.
So if they fall, they have 18 feet to go.
It's a long way. You got it.
That's how it works.
It's a long way down. After that is the circuit board, which you've seen before. Ninjas will have to grab onto a series of handles, maneuver them through holes and tracks in the circuit board above them. There's a big one and a little one. They won't fit inside each other, so you have to be careful about where you're putting the handles. Finally, after that, we've got the 35-foot elevator climb. Which, I mean, if you make it to that point, you're lucky to even...
Yeah, your arms are dead at that point.
Absolutely.
I mean, even with the circuit board, the giant cubes, salmon ladder, I mean, from the 7th obstacle on, it's a lot of upper body
Of course.
work. So just know that if you plan on doing it, work on your upper body for sure.
Absolutely. And I think I'm sure I said this during the Daytona Beach Daytona qualifiers that I'm surprised that more people didn't have trouble on the wing nuts. Like that, to me, on first glance, seems like it would be one of the killers, but people didn't really seem to have problems with those.
That has a lot to do with grip strength and, I mean, coordination, because...
Swinging sideways like that, absolutely.
And then jumping, they look like flying squirrels a little bit, which, I mean, you have to.
Sure.
But the Wingnuts did take out a third of the competitors in the qualifying round.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
So I mean, more people did better this time around.
Right,
because they
we weeded out the
new.
people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the giant cubes.
The giant cubes did a lot of people in.
Dude.
We didn't even see that many people get past that first cube, let alone get past the cubes in general.
With the transition between the salmon ladder going into the first giant cube.
Right. And we saw some interesting approaches to that as well. In fact, let's use that as a jumping off point. Now, I think it was the Maker Ninja that we had that I had mentioned earlier. Kevin Carbone, that's his name. Now he had I think it was him.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Don't at me if I'm wrong. He had this strategy where he went from the salmon ladder to that first pole, bridging the salmon ladder and the first giant cube, and he kind of almost turned himself backwards, right? And kind of worked his feet up the cube that way.
Yeah, he flipped. So we hadn't seen that before, and he was the first one to get to the second cube. So you knew that, I mean, that worked for him because he was able to save his upper body strength a lot.
Right, exactly. But, you know, we talked about the Wingnuts being a combination of upper body strength, grip strength, and coordination, and I think the circuit board also falls into that category. And so that's why a lot of people, if they were lucky enough to make it to the circuit board, didn't make it much past that.
Yeah, jeez. Just watching their arms, you could see.
Because you have to know exactly where to put that handle, and if you make a mistake, that makes it that much harder to kind of regain your footing.
Well, and the important part to keep in mind is that with all of the obstacles that you're hanging, you want to move as quickly as possible while still being smart about it. Because the moment you extend your arms, it's tough to get back up here, you know, to the 90-degree angle that you need to have to keep on going.
Well, we've heard, as we've talked about before, we've heard conflicting reports on that. Now, Matt and Akbar, they talk about keeping those L's, keeping your arms at 90 degrees. Christine Leahy, if you haven't checked out our interview with her, go check that out from the top of this season. She thinks that maybe it might be a little bit easier to kind of straighten them out a little bit more.
Every now and then because of the lactic acid. So I guess it just depends on the athlete because, I mean, they know their bodies, so they know what works for them. We did see a few people, you know, that would shake off their arms a little bit in between obstacles.
Of course.
Because they know what's coming. And it's only going to get harder as they continue going on through the course.
Right. Of course. Now, we couldn't talk about this field without talking about Mr. Spectacular. Hey, Stuart.
I'm so glad.
One of our favorite ninjas, firefighter.
Eddie.
He is not the only person to have gotten like busted in the face with one of these obstacles tonight, by the way. I think it was the rolling pin. It was the jolt of the impact on the end of that track on the rolling pin that it opened him up a little bit.
And the broken bridge. I mean, I think that's when it started. Like he started touching his lip, worried about blood happening already.
Well, that might have been a little after. I think it was that first jolt that kind of
the rolling pins when it started, and then the bridge
after
the
bridge,
broken bridge is
right.
when it was actually bloody.
And he had a pretty violent landing on the bridge, if I remember correctly, right? Not the most graceful dismount.
Well, and you can see, I mean, once they start having blood, it starts looking like boxing a little bit. So you're like, you can do it!
Sure, absolutely. He got a little, for all my wrestling fans out there, got a little color out there. If you're going to bleed in the show. It's good for business. It's an old wrestling proverb.
That's what I always say.
You know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the wrestling things I've ever heard. And
no, that's the new one, isn't it?
That's
I can show you the world.
Glow.
That'll be our new after show. I just teach Amy about wrestling.
That would be fantastic.
There you go.
That sounds amazing.
But yeah, like I said, he would not be. Eventually, he managed to make it to the giant cubes, but didn't make it past that first cube. But we would also see other people just like not being treated very kindly by these obstacles. I think it was Rolling Thunder. Who was that just caught Rolling Thunder right in the face? Who the hell was that?
Oh, what was
Was that Lindsay Eskildsen?
I was gonna say it was a lady.
I think it might have been Lindsay. Ninja Linz.
Yes, hit in face by rolling teeth.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Glad you're taking copious notes.
But yeah. Okay, so she was a competitive gymnast, then she was a cheerleader, and she wanted a challenge after that. And I like that, you know, different people take different paths to get to becoming a ninja.
Sure.
And she met Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green.
Yes. And so now American Ninja Warrior just brings out this part of me that I never knew I had. Yes. But so it's great because, you know, they're a couple and they're making it work. She's flying to Alabama. But she said that and I'm thinking, why isn't he flying to her?
Could be.
But they didn't say that part.
No.
Me, Joe Green, come on. So then, yeah, she got hit in the face by the Rolling Thunder. But
that's got to throw everything off. Like, depending on how hard you get hit. That's like, I think Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. You know? And that's got to throw everything off. Depending on what obstacle you're on, obviously, I'm sure some might be more difficult than others, but like, that could throw all of your concentration out the window.
Well, see, and I'm trying to think, she got hit twice, I think. It was her, but really, the Rolling Thunder was the one that really hit her.
And the fact that she kind of like pulled it down onto her face because it was the transition from that first track to the second track.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny
Boy.
because I think she even said that she didn't notice with one of the times that she got hit.
Right.
And Christine was asking her, well, no, I didn't feel that. The Rolling Thunder one, she did. She did feel. I think we all felt it too.
You'll feel that in the morning for sure.
No.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Other favorites?
Man, so many. Who else we got? Oh my God. We got to talk about. So we've talked a lot about the people that made it past the cubes.
Okay.
We got to talk about Rigel Henry and the landing that we saw after he made it past those cubes.
Yes.
Because it looked like he might be making it. It looked like he had made it really past the difficult part. And then he damn near broke his back on the corner of that landing platform.
That was heartbreaking.
Man, I love Rigel Henry, though. I love that.
Spicoli.
I love Spicoli. I love that noise, that battle cry that he
See, he says it much better than I think we could. But he also trains with Chuckster, 74-year-old.
Chuck Mamay, of course.
He's only 29, but yeah, I mean, he was the first to make it to the second cube.
Right.
But it really makes you worry when people dismount so early because you're thinking they're already losing their strength, and so that's why they're trying to save that energy.
Right, to kind of make up for it.
God, so close. See, I watched it here in studio, so I'm not in studio, here at AfterBuzz. And I'm so used to watching
Not in this studio.
Not in here, guys. Yeah, just
studio
sit back,
in
relax,
general.
Just I'm so used to watching it with Spielberg, my cat, and so being able to scream and make weird noises when people fall. But here, I mean, I was trying to get it together because I don't know how you guys are when you watch it. I mean, you get in it.
Oh, absolutely.
You're screaming, and this was definitely one of those times where you're just like, no, speak. Or spit. Yeah. I'm trying to do it. I promise you. I am. You got it. You did it.
Oh, boy. What was it?
It was ski. Oh, I said. Well, there you go. That's much better.
There you go. Let's make that into a drop.
Didn't I?
It was skeep.
It was skeep.
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 SKEAP, but like a lot of extra vowels in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Who else do we got here? I was so sad to see Bree Widener go out.
Our girl.
My haunted house ninja.
Yes.
So bummed. But it was Rolling Thunder that did her in. But for the entire rest, I was watching this with my girlfriend this morning. Like, she was so confused seeing just like random evil clowns in the crowd. and like without really any sort of context explaining that.
Yeah.
But God bless them for committing so hard.
And that's wonderful because you get to have that support from your friends, whether they be, dressed in costume or not.
Sure.
And it makes it fun for us to watch because you just never know who you're gonna see out in the crowd.
Everyone loves a good evil clown cheering them on from the sidelines.
Yeah. We need one here.
We do.
If you guys
Are you gonna see the new It when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm gonna see It.
Boy.
Are you?
I'm so excited.
We talked about all the scary movies.
I did an It virtual reality experience over the weekend at Scare LA, and it was horrifying.
It was
horrifying. Exactly. What else?
Wait, guys, have you guys heard about the live interactive experience of It?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's on Hollywood and
they're having a pop-up haunted house.
No.
Based on
and it's free.
Yeah.
Free. Free is always good.
Oh my gosh, it looks so terrifying. Oh man.
Let's go.
We absolutely will. We
American
for sure
Ninja
will.
Warrior tackles It.
Exactly.
Okay. JJ Woods.
Yes, JJ Woods, of course.
Yes. Okay, he's a stuntsman.
A stuntsman.
Stuntsman. That's not right. He's a stunt.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, what do you say? I wrote
A stuntman?
Yes. A stuntsman.
We get a lot of stuntsmen here on American Ninja Warrior and stuntswomen.
I don't know why I put an S, guys. I said it and I was like, that sounds weird. But I'm gonna trust this.
Sure.
Okay, so he's
JJ Woods.
He is a stunt man.
Got it.
He is inspired by 8-year-old Zoe,
Oh man.
who is battling stage 4 neuroblastoma.
Mm-hmm.
She has that. The way so he got through the circuit board. He was only 10 feet away from completing the elevator climb.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the best run of the night so far, which was about halfway through the episode.
Right.
It's about an hour in. And, we're seeing a lot of competitors get really far, but those freaking giant cubes were just killing them. So it was great because he felt so inspired by her. And they're not, blood related, but she's so close to his family. He's so close to her family that, it just shows you that you can be inspired by anyone. Like, don't think that you need to have all these superheroes. Kids can inspire you to do the best that you can do.
Absolutely. Well, and it's like you said, if you would have told him that the strongest person he knew would be an 8-year-old girl, it's one of those things that you don't really expect. But inspiration, it comes from anywhere.
And when he was cranking the
elevator
handles,
climb.
you could see. He closed his eyes. So when people get in the flow of that and they're really pushing it, I think the elevator climb is my favorite obstacle to watch.
Right.
Because you really see just how bad they want it.
They're so close.
They're so close. And hey, if they make it 5 feet up, it's still amazing job for getting that far.
Right. And at that point you're ostensibly guaranteed a spot in the Vegas finals.
Yeah.
So at that point it's just a matter of principle and showing how far you can get.
And how bad you want it, how long your arms can take it.
Right. Well, we saw later on in the night, we saw Sean Darling Hammond, the Giving Ninja.
Yeah.
When he made it to the elevator climb, it's, you're inching up just like inch by inch and foot by foot. But at a certain point, you can see him cranking the handles and they're not going anywhere because he wanted to keep going, but he literally just didn't have anything else left.
And that's when you really see just it's here, but they know, like, they can tell their arms to move, but their arms could just be like, dude, I can't, I'm sorry.
Right.
But still, like, amazing job. Of course we saw we only had one finisher in San Antonio. We only had one finisher, Daniel Gill. So that these obstacles are extremely difficult. So it makes it that much more rewarding when people do finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even get far enough.
Now, another person that we saw make it to the elevator climb, Jessie Graff, of course.
Yes.
What a run that we saw from her, right?
Yeah, I love her costumes always.
Of course.
Spider Woman.
Which, really pretty fitting for the strategy that she employed on those giant cubes.
Yeah.
Just like completely stretching from one to the other.
Here we go. Like total splits right there.
Right.
And did you? After that, Drew Drechsel tried to do it. And he's like, nah,
Didn't quite. Yeah.
I can't do that, man. But I applaud her for being so innovative and knowing her body well enough that she knew she could do that and be successful at it, and it worked. And I mean, she was closer to the end of the night, so you know that she's seen everybody go through it, and she's planning in her head exactly how she's gonna tackle that obstacle, and for her to do it like that worked out perfectly.
And that's one of the things that I always think about is the advantages that you would have being slotted to go to run later in the night. And I mean, obviously, if this lineup did happen the way that it aired, then obviously you get a lot of time to study your competition, so to speak, and your main competition being the course, of course, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, and she was saying she was only 10 feet away from completing the elevator climb, and she was talking to Christine and saying that, I mean, each time that her arms get really worn out and she thinks that she's going to fall and just, you know, that she's going to her arms are going to give out. She thinks to herself, I'm getting so much stronger right now. And that's such an awesome way to look at things because, I mean, when we see competitors trying to get through the entire obstacle course, we worry, you know, that they're thinking, oh, this is really difficult, like, I can't do it. But for her to think of it like, I'm getting so much stronger right now. It's true because each time that, you know, something doesn't work out, you learn how to do it better the next time. So no matter what, even if you fall, you are getting stronger.
Yeah, it's all a matter of perspective.
She's awesome. I'm so excited to see her in Vegas.
But yeah, it's, you know, it's that concept of the mind is willing but the body is weak. You know, you never know when it's going to go out. We even saw Ricky Vu earlier in the night had, you know, cramp up so bad that they had to carry him off the course.
Dude.
Which, like, that's got to be some extreme pain if you have to be carried off, for sure.
And that just really stinks because you're already at the city finals.
Exactly. But it's rough.
I can't imagine.
Right.
Okay.
Now we talked about Kevin Carbone, the inventor of the wing nuts. Made it. He was the first one past the cubes. Made it to the circuit board. Another one of our favorites that we had seen in the qualifier was Tyler Gillette, the American Ninja Warrior super fan, but once again also eliminated by the circuit board.
But he is going to be going to Vegas.
Right.
Going to be going. Yeah.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But quick little thing, guys, you can also be like Kevin Carbone and submit
there you
your
go.
ideas.
Of course.
For the obstacle design challenge. Just go to anwnation.com.
And he's got some new ideas cooking. Pegasus he had talked about.
I love the title of that. Like
puns.
the name of it is fantastic. Definitely, if you're gonna make one, make it a cool name too.
Which Pegasus, if that does make it in, if that ends up becoming a reality, that could be some really, really interesting stuff to watch. Basically, like this, it's a version of the salmon ladder in which you have to put the pegs up on the next rung yourself.
It's almost like you're building your own salmon ladder.
Right, exactly. There you go.
So who knows, guys? That could be you competing on your own design challenge obstacle. You just never know.
You never
Give
know.
it a shot.
You never know.
You never know.
Man, who else? We of course, I think, it's been, we've talked enough. We've got to talk about Drew Drechsel.
Yeah.
And just like not only the insane stuff he did on the course, obviously that's to be expected, but just the stuff that he did in the video before we even saw his run. Like, standing on the handrail of that bridge and then just flipping like it's nothing.
He is the real life ninja.
He's very much the real life ninja. These kind of free running skills, these parkour skills that he exhibits are absolutely ridiculous.
He makes the obstacle course look so easy. Right.
And of course it's got to be so nerve-wracking for someone like Eddie Stewart, Mr. Spectacular, who was on the bubble at number 15, watching someone like Drew Drechsel. You know Drew Drechsel is bulletproof. You know he's absolutely going to be making it. So really, if you're on the bubble at that point, you're you know you're not making it to Vegas.
And you could see his face when Drew made it past the point, and
Right.
he's just like, dang.
Everyone wants everyone else to make it, but it still stings just a little bit, you know?
But it's good to know. I mean, technically, he was in the 16th spot. So, hey,
Right.
so close.
So close. So close.
I feel like we're going to see those pecs again next year, though.
It could be.
Hopefully.
Could be. But of course, Drew Drechsel, he's been on the show so many times, but it's also the pace that he sets as well. The fact that he got past Rolling Thunder in 17 seconds when like a lot of people were just kind of hanging for that long on it.
We'll see, and that's what you have to keep in mind when you're going through the obstacle course. Do not take too long, because then your arms are going to get extremely tired. But also, wear earphones, because he had those.
Also that. I forgot about that.
Because music can be very powerful. So I'm wondering if we ever get to talk to him, I'd love to ask him what music he was listening to.
I'm very, very curious.
And also, if he has the worry of falling into the water. That's a little scary. They must be Bluetooth earphones. So who has the phone, or like, just technical things about it, because I mean,
Sure.
he was in a zone. And then even going through the elevator climb, that's what I'm thinking. Rocky theme song.
Oh,
You know,
right.
like, just imagine.
What would you listen to?
Rocky theme song, probably. Yeah.
Just on repeat?
Maybe a little bit of Eminem.
Okay, there you go.
Lose Yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. And the music,
That's the one.
maybe a little bit of DMX. X, gonna give it to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A little old school. Yeah.
No, you
So,
gotta
I
keep
mean,
it old school.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. For sure.
Maybe that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You? What would you have?
I'd probably go with film scores. I'm a big fan of listening to film scores.
Jaws.
So maybe not Jaws. Maybe not Jaws.
Shark.
John Williams would be great. Maybe Indiana Jones. Maybe Star Wars.
Yes.
Maybe some Ennio Morricone. From those old Sergio Leone westerns.
Okay.
Maybe some Hans Zimmer. Who knows?
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It would definitely be the Jurassic Park theme for sure. John Williams. Exactly.
Aw.
That would probably be what it is.
You're a dinosaur.
Yeah.
But fast.
But fast.
Well, dinosaurs are fast.
Although we did see that dinosaur run the course last year.
There you go.
Was that last year? Yeah.
So I wonder
That's pretty
if
fast
inside his
paced.
costume he had earphones. So, hey, it worked for him because music is that powerful that maybe that's what everyone else needed, earphones.
That's what everyone's doing wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
That's all you
if you
need.
think about it, only one person was wearing earphones and only one person made it.
It makes sense.
Can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. 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 And yeah, so he did try the splits, but I like that he tried it. I mean, it takes guts, because if it didn't work out, it could have been really bad.
Sure.
It didn't work out, but he corrected.
Oh, yeah. He didn't need that. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
leave that to Jessie. But it was so exciting because for us, it was the last competitor for the night, and it just leaves you, yay, just like with Daniel Gill in San Antonio. Woo.
Rockstar.
Yeah. I'm excited. I don't know. I think it's just going to keep getting obviously more difficult.
Of course.
It makes me wonder what we're going to see in like, Cleveland and, because it's Denver too. These last two city finals have been so insane that I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. We talked a lot about veterans going out.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a couple other veterans tonight. Travis Rosen, 8-time veteran, eliminated on the circuit board. We saw Ryan Stratus out on that jump in between the two giant cubes.
Mm-hmm. Rico Rivera.
Of course. Yes. Dustin Fishman, Roy Leeson, and Rico Rivera all out on that cube.
It's cubes, man.
It's killer.
Rubik
Hypercube.
Cube.
It's like
Is that a?
it's a horror movie.
Oh.
It's a sci-fi horror movie. Well,
One for you.
Cube was the original, and then there was Hypercube, and
Those are good movies
it's
for
weird.
you guys
It's
to
weird
watch.
stuff. It's weird stuff.
Weirdly good.
It's good. It's good. Very weird. Very, very weird.
But we're all weird here.
There you go.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, did you say Brett Sims too? A 7-time
oh, yeah.
vet?
Yeah, of course, of
Salmon
course.
Ladder. You can never underestimate any of the obstacles because one wrong move and that's it. You're
Absolutely,
out.
absolutely. Oh, one thing, I can't believe I didn't talk about this earlier. One thing that I did want to talk about, we talked about unorthodox strategies, you know, with Jessie Graff's split that she did on the cube, stuff like that. One thing that jumped out to me that we only saw 2 people do tonight was on that rolling pin. We saw a handful of people, or we saw 2 people kind of grip underneath their leg to keep themselves attached to that rolling pin.
Jessie
Did she also do it?
I think it was, or was
No, yeah, she did. No, yeah,
Jessie.
you're right. Jessie Graff did it, and also Josh Butler did it as well. And it makes sense if your limbs are long enough to kind of to make that reach and make that grip. It makes perfect sense, you know.
When I think of seeing Jessie do that, I think of like, stay with me, guys. A little tiny spider just grabbing on.
Okay.
You know, and she did that. It worked out perfectly.
I mean, she was just like Spider-Man.
Hey, it worked. She became a spider and in the best way possible.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Not in those ways that we hate spiders for.
No, spiders are cool, guys.
Exactly.
Unless they bite you.
I mean, then,
Just be careful.
but then maybe you become Spider-Man.
I like that. I mean, you know, you get to fight evil, save lives,
Right.
be an American Ninja Warrior too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that'd be cool if we could have more people dressed as superheroes going through.
Right.
Deadpool would be fun to see.
That'd be pretty cool. Absolutely.
Aquaman.
Right. That would be, yeah. That
I mean,
sense.
but we wouldn't want him in the water.
No.
No. So many superheroes. But I think all of the competitors were superheroes.
Of course.
I mean,
we got Booty Cothran.
Aw.
Booty Cothran from Possum Kingdom.
booty.
Sadly, out on Rolling Thunder at only 105 pounds, but then we got Michael Johnson, almost twice that weight.
Yes.
Ice in his veins. We talked about Drew Drechsel doing the course with earphones in. This guy did it with glasses on.
Yeah.
That seemed difficult to me.
And dangerous.
Right, it could be.
Very, very dangerous because you just never know what's going to hit you in the face.
Right. I mean, really, if we've learned nothing, it's that.
We've seen people compete in jeans, in really short shorts, with glasses, with capes, dressed as a dinosaur.
Hey, after I finished watching this episode, I was watching Ultimate Team Spartan Challenge. There's a guy running the course in a thong. So, you know.
Whatever works for you,
Whatever
guys.
you do, you is
Be
what we're saying. Chase your truth. Live your life.
Live your best life.
Live your best life. That's
There you
what
go.
I'm thinking of. You got it. You got it.
Whether it be in a thong or anything else.
Right. Exactly.
There
Exactly.
you go.
I mean, that's really, I think I
Yeah.
feel like we've gotten through this a lot quicker than we usually do.
I mean, we hit it. We hit it.
We made a
we
good
hit it
pace.
hard, and yes.
We made a good pace.
See, just
we
like Drew
we made
Drechsel.
that long lache on the dismount. Skipped that last. Who was
Bam.
it? I think it was Drew Drechsel that completely skipped the very last
the-
panel of the circuit board.
Yeah.
It's just like, screw this.
He was like, nah. I'm not about that
I don't
life.
need this.
No. So, yeah.
I think we got something similar from Jessie Graff. Exactly on the circuit board. Didn't even move the handles on that last panel, just kind of wrapped it up from there.
See, he must have taken that from her then.
Could be.
Learning from other people.
Right.
That's great. I mean, if that is the order that they went in,
Sure.
perfect.
Well, since we have a little bit of time,
Okay.
we don't usually get to do this. Can you hit us with some predictions, music, maestro?
It always scares me.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Did I hit? That was cool.
It's that theremen. That sweet, sweet theremen.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so let's talk about who qualified.
Okay.
Let's read off that list that you got. Who's going to Vegas?
We've got Drew Drechsel, J.J. Woods, Sean Darling Hammond, Jessie Graff, Travis Rosen, Cassidy Marks, Tyler Gillette, Kevin Carbone, Rigel Henry, Nick Patel, Lucas Gomez, Rico Rivera, Ryan Stratus, Dustin Fishman, Michael Johnson, and for the ladies, we do have Jessie Graff, who was fourth, and Lindsay Eskildsen.
There we go. There we go. Now, who out of this field do you think is best equipped to hit that buzzer in Vegas?
2 people? Can I do 2 people?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Jessie Graff. Drew Drechsel.
Okay.
But I'm not going to rule out other people. I'm thinking them for sure.
Well, and that's what you know. What? Let's put them aside. Let's talk about some deep cuts.
Dude.
And you know what? It doesn't even have to be from this city. It can be from any.
Casey.
There you go. There
Okay,
you go.
Casey. But Kevin Carbone
Okay.
from this, the city
The
finals.
maker. Yeah.
He has a different perspective on things. So I think he looks at obstacles as a maker.
I can see that.
So it's something that other people don't have. I mean, we've seen gymnasts and pole vaulters and straight up ninjas, so I think that he brings a different outlook on things that is really going to help him and be beneficial. And I think we might be surprised to see how far he gets.
Sure. Absolutely. We talked about it. I think he's got that Neo vision, in the Matrix, like all the green code, stuff like that. Exactly. Just like that. Just like that. It's this macro view of obstacles.
It's almost like a beautiful mind.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
All right. I see you.
I see that reference. Sure.
Okay, what about you?
Let me see that list. There you
go.
I'm definitely on board with Najee Richardson, the Phoenix.
Okay.
I can see him going very, very far.
Okay.
If we're talking this group, I think Sean Darling Hammond is one guy that he wasn't one of the kind of regulars or the veterans that you hear about a lot, but I think he impressed a lot of people with his performance tonight. Almost made it up that elevator climb. And not only that, he said that if he won the $1 million, he wouldn't keep a cent of it, which is pretty impressive.
Giving Ninja hello.
Exactly.
I mean, $1 million is a lot of money.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot, baby.
I mean, I can't even imagine that much money put together. So that it would be a life changer. So it's great to think that, if he did win, that he'd make it go to a good cause.
Right. Exactly.
Who else?
I'm thinking. I mean, JJ Woods, of course, has to. We're gonna see some good things out of JJ Woods for sure.
I think not to say that if you don't have, something really difficult going on, or, if you're not inspired by a traumatic event, like, you can't do great things. But I feel like when people have someone or something pushing them like that, there's something undeniable that, that just gives you so much strength and endurance and perseverance to be able to complete obstacles that you might not think you can do.
Right.
Because it's just something overtakes you and you get it done. So I'm hoping that'll work, and we have just a few cities left. So
I think we've only got 2 city finals left.
We've got
before we head to Vegas.
Something like
Is that right?
I mean, people have been impressing us. Let me see, for a while. So I'm sure that we're gonna be pleasantly surprised with some people, because you never really do know what to expect with these ninjas.
Right.
Daniel Gill.
Oh, of course.
Is one from San Antonio.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. We're trying to leave out the very obvious choices. I think Daniel Gill is very obviously a front runner for a potential Vegas finalist and possibly to make it to the top of Mount Doriyama.
Barclay
Stockton, of course.
Brent Stephenson.
Definitely. Kevin Bull, maybe.
Kenny Niematello. I put... No. Well, he did... I'm looking at my notes. Guys,
it's sharp about face.
It's basically a book.
It's a tome is what it is.
Yeah. Who else?
Exactly. So
There's
a lot of stiff competition there. Be sure to hit us up with your predictions. Who do you think is going to make it all the way to the top of Mount Midoriyama? We didn't have anyone last season. We very well could have someone this season. Who the hell knows? Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram. Also, all forms of social media. Man, it's that phrase that gets me every single week.
Just saying social media is hard.
Lord, social media. That's the
Social.
part. That's the part
Social.
that's difficult.
That's a weird
But
word.
but you know what? We're gonna call it a little early.
Yeah.
That's our episode for this week.
Yeah, short, sweet.
We made a good pace. We got that momentum up that warp
Yeah.
wall. You know. Oh, the final countdown. There we go.
Yeah.
For those Europe fans out there listening.
This one's for you.
Guys,
You're welcome.
if you're on YouTube, remember to leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about us, about the show, about these obstacles, about these brand new obstacles that you're seeing. What you might want to add to the course. If you're on iTunes, download, comment, review, subscribe, rate. 5 stars if you're nasty. Every little bit helps. Let's talk obstacles. Let's talk Ninja Warrior. But for now, hey, Cassandra, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AmyCassandra_TV. Oh, I feel it.
There we go.
Yeah! And AmyCassandra.com. Gosh, don't you just feel...
We're going to go do a course immediately the second this
after.
wraps.
Dude, I feel it. Let's do it.
You can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram, find me on the PlayStation Network. Come play Overwatch with me. You can find me on the Lucha Underground After Show tomorrow night, the American Grit After Show tomorrow. It is our finale, and guess what? We're gonna have the winner of American Grit on Skype, talking to her.
Ooh.
It's going to be a big episode. We're going out with a bang, season 2. So come check us out. That's been our show, guys. We'll be right back here, same time, same channel next week. Talking. What city we talking? What city we talking next week?
We're doing Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks. Y'all know we're talking Cleveland City Finals. But guys,
Cleveland.
until then, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.